Hey guys, how's everybody doing this evening? Welcome guys. So I am here tonight. I am going to talk a little bit hair care. So we will also be talking a little bit about this book. So tell me where you're from. Like, comment. I will randomly pick somebody to win a copy of Kinky Wax. But I'll let people trickle in. Give you a moment. While people are coming in, I'll just kind of talk a little bit about myself. So one thing I do want to talk about is, so personality-wise, Myers-Briggs, I'm an INTJ. And then colors, I am equally yellow-green. So I say that mainly to say that if things like going live are terrifying to you, I get it. Like, just do it anyways. Just do it anyways. Because our message and what we're doing is so much more important than that. So, all right, as people trickle in, feel free to ask comments below. I will go back and I will try to answer to the best of my ability at the end, or come back later if you're watching the replay. If you're hopping on for the replay, hashtag replay for me, okay? So there's three big things that I wanted to talk about today. So first, hair care trends. The second I wanted to talk about is tools and how you can use them. And then the third thing I want to talk about is Kinky Wax and how it can be used as a tool. So hair care trends, why this is important and why you should pay attention to what's going on in the industry. So me being in the beauty industry, I'm a licensed esthetician. So one thing that is super important to us is what is trending, what is going on, what are people looking for, what are they gravitating to. So I have 4 basic trends that within this year and last year are really trending up. So hair trend number 1, scalp health. So according to Pretty Analytics, there was an increase of 87.5% web content covering scalp care. So more and more people are aware of the fact that our scalp is actually an extension of our skin, right? So how well we take care of our scalp is going to dictate how well our hair is, because that is the base from which everything is growing. So just like you maintain and take good care of your face or your body skin, it's so important to also have good health when it comes to your scalp for healthy hair. Trend number 2 that is pretty big is diversity hair care in the industry. So more and more people are embracing natural hair in all hair types. So that's from fine and straight hair all the way to thick and curly hair. More and more people are concerned about their natural hair. I've actually even seen this where, more people, as they're aging, when their gray is coming, they're like, I'm gonna just take it, right? So more and more people are going into what's more natural for them. So trend number 3, sustainability of hair care products. So this is a huge one too, and especially in our industry, and I love like the 5 pledge, what Young Living is doing, but this is industry wide. People are more concerned with sustainability, so they care, how much do you care about the ingredients in your products, as well as how much do you care about this planet and this earth. So people are investigating different companies, people are investigating you. Like, if we are trying to get to the masses, this is something that is super big. I know for me, we are planning a huge conference in September, and one of the biggest things our committee has been committed to is every single person we partner with for it, sustainability. So that is huge even in the hair care industry. So the next trend is hair care and internal health. Hello, that's where we come in, right? So we are all about wellness, right? We are the full spectrum. So more and more people are shifting from just saying, hey, do I have a good shampoo and conditioner, versus, hey, what supplements do I need to strengthen my hair, strengthen my skin, because all of that goes together. So when we understand these 4 huge trends, it's going to help to a little have an advantage when it comes to our market and people that we're talking to. So some statistics, particularly in our industry. So Black spending power. So it's projected to increase to $1.4 trillion by 2020. That's huge, right? We want a piece of that pie. 33% of consumers think that cleansing conditioners or rinses are less damaging than shampoos, and 32% that it makes their hairstyles last longer. Why do I highlight that? So in the book Kinky Wax, one of the things that we start with in the DIY are rinses and the benefits of rinses, some different recipes that you can use for rinses as a substitute to shampoos. So a lot of things to keep in mind that are super, super important when it comes to how you're caring for your hair is your curl pattern, if you have curls, right? Your pores in your hair. So this is another thing that a lot of people don't quite think about, but your hair is porous, okay? So this is one reason why I'm always super strong about when you are talking, hey, my hair is dry, I need to put some oil in it, you want to always partner that with water, right? So hydration and moisture go together. If you do not partner them together, they're not going to get into the hair shafts, and all it does is sit on top of your hair. And so you'll notice, you're like, man, I'm putting all this oils in, I'm putting stuff in, and my hair is still dry, or it's not doing anything because it's not absorbing into those porous hair follicles. It's so important to have both to drive those in. The other thing is density. So density is important too, right? So I have super thick hair. It's very, very dense, right? So the way I shampoo my hair is going to be different than somebody that maybe has less dense hair, right? The amount of product that I might need to use, it's gonna be different, right? So again, those are 3 huge things to look at when we talk about hair and hair care. So now shifting to the second point that I wanted to talk about is tools. So I think this is so important and so powerful, because here's the thing. A lot of times we want to be the expert, right? We want to know everything and we want to help everybody. But again, in our industry, third-party tools are going to be the most powerful way to grow and duplicate. If everybody is looking to me as being the source, then at some point, the rest of my team is going to be like, hey, like, I can't keep up with her. Like, I don't have all that knowledge, right? Another huge thing to think about is we are all a little bit different, right? So let's say I don't have kids, okay? I don't have kids, but I'm trying to prospect somebody that has kids. Obviously, they're going to look at me like, well, that's cool, but you don't have kids. So how do I know this works? How do I know? So third-party validation, right? So for me, I keep on hand Gentle Baby and Betsy Bosoms. Like, I have a few of those books. Anytime I go to a baby shower, everybody getting that, right? Because it's a third-party tool. So whether I am abreast with that subject or not, I can still speak on it and have some type of authority to help drive more people. So it's the same thing when we talk about hair care. So the book Kinky Wax, right? It is a book for everyone. So who should have a copy? Everyone, because it's a tool, right? So if you're prospecting, if you're looking at a certain type of people, right? Don't be the validation. First party is not going to work. You need third party, right? So you need a tool that's going to say, hey girl, hey, you have hair, right? So here's a tool. You may or may not benefit. Let's see how it works for you, right? So the way Kinky Wax is designed is in the beginning, it tells you like, hey, all of the recipes in this book use Young Living essential oils. We only recommend Young Living essential oils, right? Get back with the person that gave you this book. get your oils, right? Because that's where they need to start. So they're going to understand the journey and they're going to understand how it fits. They're not going to be able to do the recipes unless they have the ingredients, right? So they're going to need oils. So it is a third-party validation and a tool that can be used to help reach all types of people. The other thing I wanted to talk about is influence. So here's the thing too, and why third-party validation and tools are so important, is the reality is when we do first party, when it's just us, the only people that are going to follow are people that you have influence over, right? So if you don't have influence over these people, they're like, whatever, right? But once you get the people that you influence, the problem is they might not have the same amount of influence that you do. And then you lose that duplication. So if we want to be duplicatable, we have to keep systems simple. We have to keep it easy. Hey, I met somebody that, is in the hair care industry. Here is a tool. Boom. That way anybody can duplicate that. Anybody can do that as well. So it's great for people that are in the hair industry. It's great for people that maybe even in their own home, like moms, just trying to manage and get away from the toxins. Another thing, actually, as I shift to the third thing, talking about the book, how to use Kinky Wax. So in the beginning of the book, we talk about ingredients that you need to flip over the labels of hair care products that you're using, and you need to take them out and why. So, there's certain ingredients that this is basically an antifreeze, right? This is why it's going to affect your body. This is why you shouldn't use it. Because so many people don't realize that these things are allowed in hair care products. So not only are we taking away these things, but then we're also going to help them appreciate what to add, right? So why is flaxseed so good for the hair? Why is aloe vera so good for the hair? Why is peppermint good for the hair? Why is lavender, cedarwood, rosemary? What are these things going to do for your hair that you're not going to get elsewhere? And so again, it's set up as a tool, building blocks. So first you help them appreciate, hey, you might not know this, but there's some nasty stuff in products that are allowed, but there's a better solution. Anytime we take something away, we have to replace it with something, because if we don't replace it with something, they're not going to stick around. They're not going to stay, right? So I did want to read this one part from the book. So many people are aware of the dangers in many foods and stay clear of putting toxic things in their body. Sadly, some do not realize what we put on our skin and in our hair is just as important. It takes on average 26 seconds for anything you put on your skin to be absorbed into the bloodstream. I struggled to find toxic-free products on the market for our hair type. Product after product was filled with ingredients like alcohol, mineral oil, etc. So again, this is better solutions. So Kinky Wax is available on Amazon, and it is available on Life Science Publishing. They will have it at convention over in the Hilton. So if you've been to convention, they have a Life Science Publishing room that is actually in, I think, the Salt Palace. And then they also have across the hall in the Hilton, where they pretty much have every book that they carry. So Kinky Wax, it's going to be a DIY book that's going to benefit everyone. Everyone can benefit from it. And the nice thing is a lot of the recipes can be customized. So once you understand and know your hair texture, how porous it is, how dense it is, you might have to say, hey, let me adjust this because I used this recipe, but when I put this type of oil, it was too heavy. So then you might adjust it and say, like, for instance, for me, avocado oil is like an amazing oil for my hair, but for you, something lighter might be more advantageous when you're using the recipes. Maybe for you, you're using safflower oil or something else. Or maybe you're omitting the oil in that recipe too. So everything can be customized. And because we talk about all the different things that you can add and all the things you want to avoid, you can kind of see, which is going to be best for you. But again, we will be giving away one of these books. So please, please, please comment below. We'll randomly select somebody. I'll let it sit for maybe like 2 days, and then I'll do a drawing and DM you to send that out. If anybody has any questions, I would love to like take a few minutes to answer some questions. I hope that was helpful. Let me try to swipe them back.
So there's still people coming in.
Okay.
But there's mostly comments. So can you clarify when you say oil in the hair? There was one person that said that there's a difference between fatty oils and that could prevent moisture from entering the hair strand.
Yes, so I do explain that also in the book, and some of their different benefits. So fatty oils, those are going to be your heavier, so that is like your castor oil, your coconut oil, your safflower oil, avocado oil. Again, oil is our friend partnered with the hydration. I don't put oil on my hair on a regular basis. I do more wet spritzing than anything. And so again, it's going to depend on how porous your hair is. So for instance, in fine hair, the reason it gets weighed down and heavy is because the hair follicles aren't as porous. So it's not actually getting into the hair follicles, and it's just sitting there. And then now my hair looks dull, it's flat, it's right? And then especially if that gets on your scalp, what happens is now all of a sudden my scalp is like, well, maybe I don't need to produce any more oils. Well, you don't want that either, because then your hair is going to get dry.
So there was another question. Looks like this one said that you talk about all hair types. So she says her daughter and her have super thin / fine hair. I think you might have kind of answered this. That gets oily near the scalp. Mm-hmm. So would they still be able to use some of the things mentioned in the book?
Yes, they would.
Repeat the question so they.
Okay, so the question was, someone has fine hair and their scalp gets oily. So yes, you would be able to use some of the recipes. The rinses actually would be absolutely amazing for your hair. Because a lot of the rinses, the base is actually apple cider vinegar. And what apple cider vinegar is going to do, partnered with some of the essential oils that are in the recipe, is it's actually going to absorb some of the excess and extra oils. So, and then some of the masks also are going to be really, really beneficial. I would say though, in your masks, you probably would omit those fatty oils because you wouldn't need that extraness in there. But things like the aloe vera is still going to be amazing because it's all about hydration, which is different than moisture.
Good. So another person asked, was it hard for your hair to adjust? So repeat the question so they can hear it.
Okay, so another question was it hard for my hair to adjust? So I feel like, honestly, in my journey, it took about a year before I actually, I love my hair. I love the texture. I love how it's coming out. There was a few things that I had to kind of do. Like I had to chop quite a bit of it off. And I had to also... because in the beginning, I would still get my hair straightened every once in a while. So it confuses your hair, right? Because it's like, I'm trying to do the natural thing, but then you keep straightening it, and then I don't know what to do. So I do feel like to a certain extent, you kind of have to commit to what you're going to do. Because it takes a little bit of time to train it back to its natural state, especially if you've been doing years and years of other things.
One last question looks like, in the book, does it break down why each ingredients are in each recipe and why, so we can choose what to remove or what to put in to modify?
So It does not in each recipe, but in the beginning of the book, it tells you the different oils, the different ingredients, and what their benefit is. So you would have to use your own discretion on which ones you would substitute them for. A lot of the recipes for me were trial and error because I had to get the balance. And even from my hair to my daughter's hair is a little bit different. So there's certain oils that sometimes I will use on my hair because my hair is just slightly more coarse than her hair, that I'll put in her hair and I'm like, oh wow, it's like too weighed down. It's not doing what it needs to do. So honestly, there will be some things that you'll have to play around with to really balance your particular hair. And that's why because a lot of people have asked me, they're like, well, why didn't you do your own hair care products? Why didn't you do, because I feel like it's so customizable. It should be customizable. I don't believe that you can go on a shelf and find a product that's going to necessarily be for all the different hair types. So I wanted it to be something that could be adjustable. I wanted it to be something that anybody could come in and they could customize it to their hair care.
I think that's it for the questions.
All right, guys. If you have any further questions, again, put them in the comments. I will come back. I will answer them. I would love to connect. I'm on Facebook. Well, obviously, I'm on Facebook, IG. And again, the book is available on Life Science Publishing. It's actually really cheap right now. I think Life Science Publishing is having even greater discount on the already discounted book. It's cheaper on Life Science Publishing because you need a membership with Life Science Publishing, and it's available on Amazon. So I appreciate all of you. Much grace because
What's your IG tag?
Oh, so my IG, it's Young Lady Day 1224. So all right, guys, thank you. Again, I will come back and answer any comments. I hope this was helpful and beneficial to everyone. Take care, guys.